or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to take a look at the new Pokemon TCG Pocket Set, Wisdom of Sea and Sky. And we're going to change up how we do this a little bit. Previously, I showed you all of the secret rares, but I think what I want to do is go a little bit further and do like a full set review, showing you everything you need to know about the set. So maybe we should do that. And the first thing needs to be mentioned about this set, it's like they made it for me. My favourite Pokemon, Mamoswine, in here. My second favourite Pokemon, Porygon, it's in here. My third favourite Pokemon, Donphan, it's in here as an EX. So both the Pokemon in my logo are in this set, and they got Porygon to boot. And okay, I'm going to be honest with you, right? The Mamoswine is pretty terrible. 4 energy, 160, and does 20 to each of your bench? Nah, terrible. But the Donphan's potentially really good, and the Porygon line has a lot of potential, and I am a little bit excited. Now, one thing we need to talk about before we get going anywhere else, baby Pokemon are back, and they actually appear as a 6th card in the booster pack you open. So you may well end up opening a pack that's got 6 cards in. That's because there is a baby Pokemon. What baby Pokemon come around in the set? Glad you asked. We've got ourselves a Magby. Now, I should mention all of these are 30 HP, no weakness, no retreat, and that symbol means a free attack, no energy needed. So Magby attaches a fire from your energy zone to one of your bench basic Pokemon. Nice, but you're going to be basically giving up a prize to do this. You have been warned. Pichu, for what it's worth, basically does the same thing, although for lightning rather than fire, so yay. Elekid is also lightning, couldn't do the same thing, so it does 20 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Fine, but I still feel like you're giving up a prize to accelerating energy, and I don't know how useful it is. Having said that, if you come in ready to roll afterwards, maybe it is ready. Smoochum does 20 damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Weirdly, much better as the game goes on when most of the babies are early game. That's a little bit weird to me. We got ourselves a Cleffa, which for no energy will just put a random Pokemon from your deck into your hand. Again, nice for setting up in the early game. And then we got ourselves Tyrogue, 0 energy, 20 damage, not too shabby. But remember, they only appear as the 6th card in a pack, and they got 30 HP, so even without weakness, they ain't gonna last too long. Now, we'll look at the EXs in a moment, but first, random Pokemon from the set that I think look quite good. We talked about the Gyarados before. Gyarados actually really fun, 2 energy, 20 damage, but you can discard any number of bench water Pokemon, doing 40 more for each bench Pokemon discarded in this way. 140 if you discard 3. But there's a Magikarp that lets you flip a coin, and if heads during your opponent's next turn, you get immunity. Yay! Now, we've also got ourselves an Octillery coming in the set that I like very much indeed. For 2 energy, what you do here is, if they attack, they have to flip a coin, and if tails, it fails. But you use the attack once, and they have to flip every time until the defending Pokemon leaves the active spot. Now, it doesn't stack, so you can't make them flip more than once, but the idea that they can flip 3 or 4 tails in a row and never attack is kind of fun. And there's a Crawdaunt that it discards an energy when it evolves. That could be kind of fun for ruining your opponent's day. There is a Raikou. 2 energy, 70 on a basic Pokemon is great. Sure, you got to do 20 to yourself, but it's 2 energy, 70 on a basic Pokemon. And then we got a Mulga, which is single energy 40. Yes, it does 10 to one of your bench, but single energy 40 on a Pokemon where you can hit for weakness in Pokemon TCG Pocket is busted. There is a Togekiss that I like very much indeed. It's got an ability that says if any damage is done to this Pokemon by attacks, flip a coin, and if heads, you get to prevent that damage. That can get very, very annoying. There is a Xatu that lets you flip a coin, and if heads, you put your opponent down to 10 HP remaining. And while we're here, I might as well tell you about the new supporter card, Will, that basically says, hey, the next time you flip a coin this turn, it's going to be a heads. Yeah. That is pretty gosh darn good. Guarantees something like this or anything else that needs a coin flip. There are a couple of unknown which are interesting. Unknown Guard says if you've got another unknown, all your Pokemon take 10 less from attacks. And Unknown Power says if you've got another unknown, all your Pokemon do 10 more with attacks. Problem is, get both of them down. You've only got 2 bench spots left. You have been warned. Now, Hitmontop I actually like quite a bit. It's a basic Pokemon that for a single energy does 20 to the active and 20 to your opponent's bench. With 80 HP as well, that is a good Pokemon to have turn 1 when you're allowed to attack. Now, Absol jumps out to me as kind of fun. Single energy, and it does 30 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Single energy 30 to the bench, not bad on a high HP basic. And we've also got ourselves a Sizzle here that for 2 energy does 50 damage, but if it moved from the bench to the active this turn, it does 100. Yeah, you got to get some moving in and out the active, but that can be very, very tasty. Now, Fearow is very specific, but stage 1 single energy 70 to a grass Pokemon, yes. And along very similar lines, we've got the Kangaskhan, single energy 60 damage to an evolution Pokemon. That is very nice for 100 HP basic. Now, I said I like the Porygon line, and I do, because we got Porygon 2, that's got the ability Buggy Evolution. Whenever you attach an energy from your energy zone to this Pokemon, put a random card from your deck that evolves from this Pokemon onto this Pokemon to evolve it. If you're playing more than one different Porygon Z, it will take a random one. But then the new Porygon Z, 2 energy, 70 damage, and during your opponent's next turn, they got to pay 1 more to attack. So you just evolve up from a Porygon into a Porygon 2, attach your second energy, and then you got 130 HP, effectively stage 1, with the effort you've had to get it out, hitting 70 and making your opponent pay more to attack. That is not too shabby. So then a non-EXs I like, we should have a look at all the EXs. And as we do, I will show you all of the lovely alternate arts, because it's just kind of rude if I don't, frankly. Little bit rude if I don't. So we got ourselves a Shuckle. I low-key love Shuckle. It's a basic Pokemon. Great start. And it's got an ability that says it takes 20 less from attacks. Great. And then single energy, flip 3 coins, 20 for each heads. You're going to be doing 20 or 40 most of the time. You can do 0, you can do 60. But it's got 120 HP and takes 20 less from attacks. Having this out in the early game to wall for a bit is brilliant. And then obviously all of these have got your special art as we go through. I love this Shuckle. This Shuckle is beautiful. Seriously, wonderful artwork. Now, we've also got ourselves a Kingdra. 2 energy, 90, and then your opponent can't retreat next turn. It's alright. It's fine. Lantern, 3 energy, 80 damage. Flip a coin if heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is paralyzed. If tails, they're confused. Bearing in mind you can guarantee paralysis with Will. Still seems slightly expensive, but Lightning's got some tricks. Espeon we talked about before. If it's active, heal 30 during your turn. It's fine. Donphan, now look, I'm biased. I'm massively biased. But firstly, best start in the set. Secondly, single energy 50. Not terrible. Not great, but not terrible. But if it's got 2 extra, it does 110. Oh, and by the way, Phanpy here's got a single energy 30, which is really quite good, frankly. The self-damage is a bit sad, but still, that ain't too bad at all. Love this. Crobat EX, single energy 70 plus poison. It's alright, but it's a bit low for my liking. I do like 170 HP, though. Umbreon with the redonkulous Akira Igawa artwork. If it's active, you can switch in a damaged Pokemon. This ability is ridiculous. Skarmory, 2 energy 70, takes 20 less next turn. Adore the artwork. Don't hate the Pokemon, it's only a basic 2 energy. It's alright. And then we got Ho-Oh and Lugia. Now, we talked about these before, so we don't need to go into too much detail. But as we look at Ho-Oh here, remember that the immersive cards have been removed. I told you that earlier today. And they will be replaced later with different artwork. But Ho-Oh's free energy 18. You get to attach a fire, water, and lightning from your energy zone to your bench basic Pokemon in any way you like. And then Lugia, which remember these ones have the gold cards and the immersive, but not the regular alternate arts. Uses those free energy to do 180, but discards them. There is a gimmick deck there. I'm not entirely sure how well it's going to go. Now, we do have a bunch of supporters as well, and they all come through with full arts. So Will is the one I mentioned that guarantees your next coin flip is going to be a heads. People will do fun things with this. Lyra lets you switch your active Pokemon with any damage onto the bench. Any switch regardless of retreat cost is pretty good. Silver lets you look at your opponent's hand and get rid of a supporter card. Could fail though, and that worries me. Fisher lets you flip 3 coins, and for each heads, a water Pokemon is chosen at random from your discard pile and popped into your hand. Bearing in mind, if they're basic, Gyarados is going to have a field day. This is essential with Gyarados. Jasmine says that all your Steelix and Skarmory EX take 50 damage less from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. Makes me look at Skarmory EX way better here. Still not loving Steelix, but Skarmory, 70 less from attacks? Yeah, that'll do. And then Hiker says, for each of your fighting Pokemon in play, look at that many cards on the top of your deck and put them back in any order. Lets you stack the top of your deck and makes me want to play Donphan even more. Only joking. I couldn't want to play Donphan any more than I already do. Now, in terms of non-supporter trainer cards, we've got Elemental Switch. Lets you move a fire, water, or lightning energy from your bench to your active. When you're accelerating energy with stuff like, I don't know, Magneton, this gets 1 billion times better. Squirt Bottle specifically discards a fire energy from your opponent's active. Very situational, but fun in the right meta. Steel Apron says that the metal Pokemon is attached to take 10 less damage from attacks and become immune to special conditions. Makes Skarmory even better again. Dark Pendant says that if it's attached to a darkness Pokemon and it's active and they're damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, you get to shuffle a random card from their hand into their deck. And then Rescue Scarf, if it's attached to a Pokemon that gets knocked out, you just put it straight back into your hand rather than the discard pile. And my first thought here is again Gyarados, so that you can keep recovering that and swinging with it. Now, in terms of your alternate art non-EXs, we can run through them super quickly to show you the art. We got Chikorita sitting in a chair looking kind of adorable. We got Blossom doing the whole dancing thing, but the art style suits this Pokemon wonderfully. We got Heracross doing Heracross things. Cyndaquil sitting in a chair kind of chilling. Magby sleeping on a mountain because I don't know why not. Totodile not sitting in a chair but enjoying a nice little bath. I adore this. It's adorable. Quillfish holding its breath because that's what Quillfish does. Octillery looking genuinely a little bit terrifying. We got Delibird trying to get stuff out of trees. Looking a bit derpy. Kind of adorable. We got Pichu having a nice little nap. Is it a real ducklet? We might never know. Ampharos doing a bit of stargazing. Togepi, I adore this Togepi. It looks like it's been sketched onto somebody's notebook, but still, love it. We got Xatu, just kind of standing there doing nothing like Xatu tends to do. We got Wobbuffet hiding in a park, but specifically from the baby Pokemon. The Wynaut, which makes me very, very, very happy. It's adorable. We got Gligar with Hyganasuke artwork, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. We have Spinarak. It's a spider. It's in a web, obviously. Murkrow conspiratorially hanging around. Tyranitar wrecking stuff. And Scizor wrecking stuff. Love the Scizor artwork, incidentally. We got Sentret looking very pleased with themselves. We have Hoot Hoot looking very pleased with themselves. And then Stantler having a drink. We then got Smeargle, Minaminami. Oh my word, I love this card. That is an artist I'm getting a lot more love for as time goes by. And then finally, Blissey hanging out the washing. And as someone who just hung out the washing, thanks Blissey. Appreciate the hard work. And then we need to finish off as we often do, because there's a bunch of random shiny Pokemon and we should really acknowledge them. Yet there's a new set, there's a lot to talk about. So we got Yanma and Yanmega here. Yanmega's kind of cool. We have various evolutions. We got ourselves a Flareon. We got a Jolteon. We got a Vaporeon. It's the Gen 1s. Oh, and then we also have an Eevee to go along with them. And then a Leafeon EX. And then a Glaceon EX. There are a bunch of Eevees. We've got Magikarp and Gyarados from this set, which I think are brilliant, as I've told you. We've got Magnemite and Magneton. Yes, the really good Magneton that accelerates energy. And yeah, I did cheekily use this card earlier, and I'm not even sorry. We've got ourselves Miss Drevis that comes along with Miss Magius EX. We got Mankey and Primate. I'll be honest with you, this is another one I want to play around more with. We got the whole Nidoqueen line. But if that's not for you, we got the whole Nidoking line. Do with that as you will. We got Sneasel and Weavile, and Weavile is one of my favourite EXs I've played with in the set. Played a lot of Weavile, so this makes me very happy. We've got Lickitung with Licky Licky EX, which I still think has a bunch of potential. And then Pachirisu EX, which is another Pokemon I have played a lot of in Pokemon Pocket, because 2 energy, 80 damage on a basic is pretty sweet. So there we go. They're the cards that I like, all the trainer cards, all the secret rares, basically everything you need to know about the set. So my job's done here, and now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about this set. Tell me which cards you want to be having a play around with. Tell me what from the set is exciting you. Tell me what your favourite artwork is. Basically, tell me anything you want in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And please remember that with the new YouTube algorithm, comments and likes mean a lot more than they did previously. So please do drop a comment and a like. It would mean a lot. And we need to finish giving a shout out to one of our lovely patrons at patreon.com/PTCG So shout out to the lovely It's a Coaster, who's been a supporter of ours for a long time now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for being awesome, basically. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.